Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Blue Blood on the Main Line. I hope everyone has had a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. I'm your host, Curtis Sumpter, and I am here with Coach Joe Jones, currently the head coach of Boston University men's basketball team. What's up, Coach? How you doing?
It's so good to see you, man. It was great to see you at Coach Wright's Hall of Fame induction. Man, that was the second best thing. The first thing was seeing Coach go through, but the second best thing was spending some time with you during the ceremony, man. It's good to see you.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate that. It was a great time. I mean, seeing you again after all these years. But I want everybody to know, like, you are 90% of the reason why, I chose Villanova University. We have to make sure we put that out there to the fans. For anyone who watched me play, enjoyed, me, going to Villanova playing as well as I did. I just want everybody to know Joe Jones is 90% responsible for that actually happening. Coach Wright, as amazing as he is with the other 10, and then, he took over from there. Definitely. So, Coach, I want to give you your praises. Thank you for spending that quality time and convincing me that Villanova was ultimately the right place for me.
Well, I'll tell you this, Kurt. You know how much I adore you as a person, is especially meeting your mother and your stepdad, Leon, just the whole package. From the first time I met you, I just thought you were a Villanova kid. I thought you had great character, great morals, great values, tremendous work ethic, love for the game, someone that just wanted to get better, just a special person, and I'm not surprised that you've done so well. But just meeting you the first time, I remember coming back to campus and saying, that's somebody that we have to get. I remember coming to your school and spending a little time with you, man. It was it really impacted me, and I just remember it like it was yesterday. Meeting you and the feeling that I got after spending some time with you.
I want to, piggyback that. I want to say the feeling was mutual because I met you, I want to say maybe going into my junior year, maybe sometime during sophomore, going to junior year. And it was right when I really started getting college coaches coming to my games, starting to have conversations, or really, starting to show an interest. And you were one of the first guys I felt like I connected with, but I had no idea where Villanova was or the whole Villanova, deal. It was like, man, like, I'm starting to get, people recognizing me. I'm enjoying this process, but Villanova, when I'm hearing, some of the other schools that were involved, but I'm like, I like this guy. And, my parents felt the same way. How was that transition like from, for those who don't know, you started out recruiting me under Coach Lapis, and then it transitioned to Coach Wright. Was that him saying like, hey, I'm coming out of New York, or you already say, hey, I got Curtis on the board already? I'm in the mix.
Well, I have to be honest. I got to give, first of all, there's without a doubt, you were someone that was my top recruit your junior year. I just thought you'd be someone that would just impact the league. And we won't go into the injuries, man, but injury-free,
sure.
I think you're still playing, and playing in that top league, So we won't get into that, but I just thought you had a world of potential. I thought you had, like I said, I thought you had a true love for the game. You were a competitor, and you were just someone that I thought was going to get better and better. I think there are some guys that are good players in high school. And they kind of reached their peak. I just thought you were going to be a guy that just got better and better with your athleticism. There was just a lot of room for growth. And so, I loved you. And then obviously the coaching change happened. And they were very familiar with you, Coach Gunning, Coach Wright, obviously, and then Fred Hill, Fred Hill, and Fred was recruiting you, when he was at Seton Hall. So it was almost like, you go from being recruited kind of by me and our staff coach, and Coach Lapis, and then all of a sudden, like the new regime comes in, and now Fred Hill has a relationship with you. Of Coach Wright from the Hofstra days, and he's familiar with you, and now all of a sudden it's like 3 or 4 new people all recruiting you that were from different spots, but now at the same school.
Correct.
So
It was overwhelming.
yes, and I remember that it was a really powerful thing that we had going that first year or so, because we all had relationships with you, and now we were all at the same spot. So it made it. I could just feel the energy even in the office. We would call you, and Fred would get on the phone with you. I would get on the phone with you. Coach Wright would get on the phone with you. And it was like, it just felt good. It felt right. And I think the other thing that we try to do, and I'll give Coach Wright and Coach Hild the most credit for really trying to envision, the whole class, but you were a huge part of that, part of what we were trying to do. And we figured, like, we looked at Alan Ray. Alan was somebody that we really liked a ton. We looked at Randy, and he was someone we liked a ton. We looked at Jay, Jason Frazier. He was someone we liked a ton, and you had a huge piece in that, because we felt like you were kind of a connector, that if we could get you, we felt that it could help us get some of the other guys that we want to get in the class. And then the greatest thing is you all fit together so well. Your strengths and Jason's strengths and Alan's strengths and Randy's strengths really fit together. So it was just an amazing class. And Fred had a lot to do with, like, saying, I think we could put this full class together. And I thought he was I actually thought Fred was doing, I was like, man, you're jumping. We might get 1 or 2 of those guys. I don't know if we're getting all 4.
Right.
I have to give him a lot of credit, man. I didn't say much in the meeting when he said that, but I was in my head, I'm like, man, we're not getting all those dudes, and it was just and I remember
I was a little bit nervous too. I wasn't sure what Jay was going to do, a little bit with Randy, but me and Al was on the same kind of page with it.
That's my young boy. That's my young boy, man. Hey, Ray, he used to always call me son. What's up, son? What's up, son?
What's up, son? That's not even Bronx lingo. That's more of a Brooklyn thing, man. He was still in our lingo.
Yeah, he was still in it. He was coming.
He was still in our lingo.
Calling me son. But I think that's the thing, and a lot of it was like over the summer, Kurt. I mean, you remember the summer, going into your senior year, and I just remember you and Jay on that great Panther team having so much success in Vegas. And then I thought didn't you end up playing Alan Ray in the championship?
We played them in the semis.
Semifinals, yeah.
Semis, and he couldn't hang. He couldn't, he couldn't hang with the big boys. We sent them home, but we ain't mean to send them to the hospital. We just wanted to send them home, but we wound up sending them to the hospital. So
he got hurt out there.
He got hurt, man. He got hurt. Yeah.
So like, I thought that was another thing that, we were, trying to recruit this class, and you guys, you and Jay played together in the summer. You had so much success that summer. Winning Vegas is a huge deal. I don't know, for our people that are listening, that's like, it's not necessarily winning the NCAA championship, but at that time, that was the biggest tournament in the country. And to win that tournament, you were really making a statement.
I mean, we had the championship, we had to go through Melo, you had to go through the Tim Thomas players, the Ravens, obviously, Allen, Julius High, it was the Atlanta Celtics. All guys, wanted to, so it was not it was not easy. It was not easy.
Nowadays it's kind of watered down, right? So they have all these different venues, and some of the great teams go here, there. But back then, everyone went to Vegas. Everybody went to Vegas, and then Florida. So you were playing against the best of the best. And like you said, you were playing against top teams with great players every game. So you had to be really good. And you and Jay spearheaded that team with Charlie Villanova, but just a great team. Great team. So that's kind of how, it just kind of continued to get momentum. You guys did such a great job in the summer. You were, as you know, more and more people were recruiting you. Your name was getting out there more and more. Jay's name was getting out there. Alan was doing a great job. And, then Alan came, Alan committed. He was the first one. And I actually think you were second. And
I was second. I was second. I wasn't sure about Jay, but I had
Yep.
talks with Randy, and I
Yes.
felt strong that Randy was coming, so I made that commitment. I figured, the rest would be, up to Jay,
Yep.
to fill that void, and he did.
No
Absolutely
question.
that.
No question. But getting you after Allen was significant because you get one top 50 guy.
Mm.
Yeah. But then you get two in a row. Now that's really saying something. And I thought it made it easier for Jay to be like, okay, I'm gonna go play. We
Right.
got, then Randy comes, and then I think it all just kind of fit together, and what a wonderful class that was to really kickstart, just an unbelievable run that Villanova has had. And let me say this, Kurt, I think the biggest thing for you you have to, like, I don't think people fully understand, like, if you look at that core of guys that went to Nova at that time, and you look at the teams that followed and the kids that followed, it's like a carbon copy of guys like you, right?
Yes.
Guys that are serious about basketball, guys that are talented guys that want to get better. Tremendous people, great families, raised the right way. Just, it's a talented group that's come in under Coach Wright, but also the type of people that Coach Wright has recruited. And like I said, it's you're a Villanovan, you're a Villanova person, Villanova player. That's what it's all about. Great character, hard work, commitment to others, doing it for your teammates, just trying to find those types of guys that are just special people that are winners. And that's what I think, that's the thing that's just kind of carried over. But you guys kind of spearheaded that group that started that run.
That was I must say, like, you are so right. Like, one thing, about the Villanova family, you just see the same type of guys come through there, and it's easy to relate. It's easy to feel like you've known that person for 20 years and you might have only met them for 20 minutes.
No question.
And that just shows. So, and we understand each other. We can talk basketball, everything, and we still understand. It's a great feeling to be a part of that community. It's things that was spoken about, prior to going there and trying to build. And it seemed so far away back then, but now it's in existence. It's just great to be a part of. But I just know that during the whole process of being recruited to Villanova, like you said, you and I developed such an unbelievable bond that, I definitely would take to my grave. And like you said, you mentioned my parents. My mom would say, I think Joe's wife is going to be upset with him because I think we speak more than they probably speak. Like, it was just, and my dad would be like, who you talking to again? You talking to Joe again? What's going on with you and Joe? Like, but it was just love because my dad would jump on the phone. My parents ask about you all the time. They ask about Sydney. And they just, like I said, our dynamic during that process, you made it very, very easy. As much as I might have, tried to give you the run around, negotiate, play a little bit. I felt more comfortable with you being under your watch, being under Coach Wright's watch. And then it was actually a shock. It wasn't a full shock to my parents when I said I wanted to go to Villanova, but it was like, so soon? Like, you sure you don't want to continue to? And I was like, nah, I know. They was like, you sure? Like, and I was like, no. And they was like, all right, well, I'm cool with it if you cool with it. I mean, obviously, we have a great relationship. And I decided, and I woke up that morning and just called you guys and said, no, I'm sorry, you guys called me in the middle of me saying that to my parents. Literally, it was karma.
Get out of here. That's
and
unbelievable.
I told Coach Wright, and I said, Coach, guess what? He was like, what? I was like, I'm coming to Villanova. We were just talking about this. He was like, what? He said, hold on. I got to call you right back. And then he called, and they got everybody together or whatever. And you guys called me right back. But it was just one of those gut feelings. It was easy. It didn't feel forced. And I think, definitely shocked a lot of people, but it was not a shock to me. And it was just, contribute to how the whole recruiting process went. I would tell everybody, like, I felt from the moment I was recruited by Villanova, it just felt different than any other school. No matter, I know schools probably had better name basketball wise.
At that time, for sure. Yep.
But they never made me feel or made my family feel, you know, like it was about, us and trying to like build something in together. We felt like another piece. And I was like, nah, I don't like that because as you know, my family, that's not where I come from. So I like to that feel. And the Villanova community, they had that above all. And it was an easy decision coming there.
Well, look, man, I can't tell you what a joy it was to recruit you and get to know you and get to know your family. And so proud of all the things that you accomplished and still are. You've done so much already, and there's so much more to go for you. But I'm always going to be a part of your life. You're always going to be a part of my life. And easily, Kurt, one of the best guys I've ever recruited, and so much fun to still keep in touch. You and Alan especially are dear to my heart, man. Absolutely.
Let me tell you guys a little bit about our partners over at BetRivers Sportsbook. If you haven't signed up yet with BetRivers, now's the time because they are offering a $250 match bonus for your first deposit. What sets them apart is that they require one playthrough just to turn your bonus into cash money. With their new Rush Pay instant approval, withdrawing your winnings is safer, more secure, and more reliable. With conference play starting up, get in on the action by going to betrivers.com today or by downloading the BetRivers iOS app. Must be 21 years or older. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. So, I always say, you get you get a limited amount of people that, impact your life. And I want to say you've impacted my life and on such a small, short period of time. And it was through one through the times where I, was faced with some of the, my first obstacle in life, going from a guy who was playing, getting recognition, all the things that come with it to now being faced your freshman year. And, you hit a wall or obstacle, whatever it may be in front of you. And it was time to respond, my first real challenge, and I didn't know how to accept that. It was tough. I was somewhere mentally probably where I wasn't, in the present, my game wasn't where I thought it probably was. And you and I spent a lot of time after practice, and some of it was driven by you. And not that I didn't want to do that stuff, but I was more so me just confused as to, am I not good enough or whatever it may be? But the confidence that I needed to overcome whatever obstacles, you were there, and we worked and worked and worked. And I felt like by the end of my freshman year, I honestly felt like the best player on the team. I wouldn't say that vocally. I would, never, but in my mind, by the end of my freshman year, and, I love all my seniors, I love all my freshmen, I felt I was the best. Now, no one may not agree with me. That's just my own opinion, but I felt just the battles and obstacles and work. By the end of the year, I felt like I was the best player. Like, what was your mindset? Did you see that struggle on my face? Like, what was going through your mind?
Well, listen, let me say this. It's not uncommon to kind of go through what you went through. Like,
Right.
people just think now it's like, you're a great player. You're going to go in as a freshman. You're going to have a great freshman year, and you're going to get drafted by the time you're a junior or something. Like, everyone thinks that about every great high school player. You were a great high school player. That I think when it started, like you said, just had to kind of figure out, all right, these are things I do really well, and this is how I can excel. I can't do everything I used to do, but there are some things I could do really well to help. And I thought you could shoot it, you could score it, you could rebound, you could defend, you could run the floor. And part of this, like the speed of the game, the physicality of the game, getting used to that, getting used to a brand new system, learning the system, feeling comfortable in the system. Mm-hmm. And you could be one of the more talented guys because, like, in my eyes, you were one of the more talented players, but you hadn't put it all together yet. So it's kind
Mm-hmm.
of hard to kind of get into a game and all of a sudden like show all the things you could do at the highest level, right?
Right.
And so it's just a matter of time before all those things came into place. And so my thing with you was like, all right, let's just get extra time ball handling. Let's just get extra time shooting. Let's get extra time, working on your one-on-one game. Let's just get extra time to try to build that confidence where you started to feel like, okay, I could go out and do these things at a high level. And I felt like if you could just keep going, I felt like you could get there. And I thought you definitely did. And you were having some great success as the season went on. You started to ascend. And then after that, everybody knows your story, but I think it's just a great lesson in perseverance. And you said it best. A lot of it is that mental battle that you got to get through. Like physically you could do everything. It's just the mental battle that you got to get through now when it's all not coming for you the way you want it to come for you right away. And your story is great, and it's something that I'm actually going to share this interview with some of my freaking young guys right now because you all go through it. Like I got a guy right now, he's talented he's so talented. But you can see like he hasn't figured it all out yet,
Correct.
And he's just got to keep going. But you're right, like having the relationship that we had and the trust that we built up, it made it easier for me to have those conversations with you. But I totally remember the frustration I totally remember talking to Leon and Priscilla about the frustration that you were having on the court and trying to keep them, solid and trying to keep them, in a good place and kind of letting the process take care of itself. Because it's one of the things is I had unbelievable trust in Coach Wright. Obviously, he's proven to be, a tremendous leader, tremendous coach. I had nothing but respect and trust in him and nothing but respect and trust in your game. And I thought you really fit the way he wanted to play. So it's just a matter of time before it all came together. I had no doubt that you were going to be a star. There was no question. Even when you were struggling, there was no doubt in my mind that you weren't going to be a star.
That time spent definitely solidified the recruitment process. Definitely made our bond stronger. Like you said, I was in the trenches mentally, and the things we spoke about, I felt that we were actually doing. And it was some tough times.
No question.
And I just remember going back to South Campus. Alan's playing. You already know.
That's one of the hardest
Randy's
things.
playing.
That's one of the hardest things
Jason's
there, man.
playing. We all in the room. Everybody trying to get a picture to put on Facebook. I'm sitting there like, I ain't got no pictures. I'm on a bit, just those immature things that you just like. And I'm like, but I think I'm doing all right in practice. They like, you doing all right, eating their food, just regular, just to stay with it. I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. But and they would say, like, Kurt, you was over there working hard at the practice board. Just guy stuff, jokes or whatever. But ultimately, those were the things that probably was needed. Obviously was needed to maybe build my confidence up more and also to build confidence, and others as well around me, playing with me. And then we just meshed really, really well. And
it was well together. Oh my God. It was beautiful to watch as you guys all kind of developed. Oh my God. That team was so beautiful to watch, man. Absolutely.
But I want to talk about one of the saddest days in Villanova history, other than me getting hurt. I want to talk about the day. It was one of the happiest days in your life, but one of the saddest days of mine. When you said to me, listen, Kurt, I got an opportunity, become a head coach, and I'm going to take the job at Columbia, after my first year, after all the, time we had. And again, I felt right maybe the last 4, maybe 5 or 6 games before the season was over. I was now starting to get involved and feel good. And I'm like ready for sophomore year and our next year together. And you get this amazing opportunity. So happy for you to go coach Columbia. It was one of the saddest days. I wasn't sure that I was going to remain at Villanova. I'm not sure if a lot of people knew that. And a lot of that decision was was based on your departure. Had no no, not for any other reason. It was just more so I felt the connection, the bond that we had, and I felt that I needed you to continue to excel. Now after finally finding some success. So how hard was it for you to leave Villanova?
Oh man, it was incredibly hard. First of all, I mean, Jay Wright's like a big brother, to me. He's someone I have unbelievable respect for and love coaching with him. I had, I coached with him for 3 years at Hofstra and then another 2 at Villanova. I love Villanova. I still listen, I watch every Villanova game when I'm home. I watch every game I watch, man. I've traveled to to Elite Eights, the Final Fours. I've been there. I'm a huge fan. And I can't get back there as much as other people are able to get back in the summertime.
Sure.
And during the year because I'm coaching, but I'm a huge fan of Villanova, and I always will be. I always will be.
Yeah.
And I love Coach Wright to death. So, and I love that staff. Billy Lang was a great friend, and Brett and
oh
Fred.
my God.
Those were my
awesome.
No doubt. Those were my guys. And so, my daughter was born there. She was 1 year. She was in her first year. So it was really difficult. And I love, and especially you and Randy. I was especially close to you two. And that always made it hard, and so, it was very hard to tell you, it was very hard to tell you because I loved you to death. And, and I knew once you leave, it's just hard to kind of, maintain that type of connection because we're not going to see each other, like I'm going to be doing my thing. You're going to be doing your thing. It's going to be hard to see each other. So it was really hard. It was really difficult. But it was just an unbelievable opportunity to work at one of the finest institutions, academic institutions in the world. Obviously, they were coming off a really bad stint, and we were able to build some things and do some great things there. And that place is still dear to my heart. And looking back on my career, I'm so happy that I had the opportunity to coach at Villanova, to coach at a place like Columbia, now at a school like Boston University. I've been very fortunate to do what I've been able to do. But I wouldn't probably be here if I didn't take that job at Columbia. I probably wouldn't be here today.
Correct. It all falls.
Exactly. So it was really difficult because of you and some of the other guys, and obviously Coach Wright and the university. But I am happy. I was sad that I left, but happy about the opportunities that came my way.
Man, those times. I mean, the dinners at your house, just the cheesesteaks.
Yes.
Like I was like, this is the life. Like just basketball and food. Like we can't get any. Can't get better than that.
Kurt, I remember you guys came over. You came over with your family. It was the first day of school. It was Alan, Randy. All the families came to my house and we just hung out, and had a great time outside of at my house. I'll never forget that. We just hanging out outside for hours, just talking and just spending time together, enjoying each other's company, man. Like that's the kind of experience Villanova was. It was all family, man, all good people. And like you said it best. Like once I met your parents, it was just, I was like, oh, those are my people. Those are my people, and we have the same values, the same morals, and
I want to tell a story. I want to tell a story about one of the times you came to come see me out in Brooklyn, and we went to go get some cheesecake or wherever we went to Junior's, and we pull up to the spot, and I'm like, Coach, I don't think you can park here. He's like, nah, we good. Flexing a little bit. Let's go and get this cheesecake. I'm like, all right. And we come out. I'm like, why your car like a cop car from here? And as we get closer to it, it's an unmarked car. And I'm like, that's not your car. And then we find out your car is now towed. Now we're in the middle of Brooklyn. Your car is like towed. And I'm calling my dad like, we stuck. I don't know where the car at.
Oh God.
How funny was that? Like that's another moment.
Yes.
That we just You
Oh,
can't make that up. You
I
can't make that
forgot
up.
all about that, man. Oh, God. That is definitely something that would happen to me. I park my stuff. I park my car everywhere. I still do that. Oh, that is great. That's great. You remember that story, man. That's
I
awesome.
remember it like clear as day. I remember calling my dad. I'm like, I'm with Joe. We stranded. His car got towed. He like, where you at? I'm like, I'm at Junior. He said, I'll be right there. And we
Oh, God.
got you. You rented another car.
Oh,
Drive
God.
back to Philly. Get everything. Drive back the next day.
Yeah, go get
The
my
car.
Oh,
Well,
God.
what was Coach Wright saying, man? Was he like,
I don't know. I don't even know if I told
he was like,
that
I got it done, right? That's what you say. I got it done. Don't
That's
matter
it.
what
That's
happened.
it.
I got
There
it
you
done.
go. Kurt's coming. Kurt's coming.
Yeah, I got it done. Don't worry about it, Coach.
There you go.
Got it done.
There you go.
That's funny, man.
There you go.
But those stories, man, those memories, near and dear to my heart. And like I said, Coach, it doesn't matter how many years go by, we don't see each other. Again, we reconnected at the Final Four, and it was amazing. I'm sorry, not the Final Four. Coach Wright's induction, and it was amazing, seeing you after all these years, and it felt just like yesterday.
It did.
I was sitting in your
smiling.
office.
Like, I can't stop smiling now looking at your face.
Trying to call Coach. Can I call home? Can I call my parents? My minutes. I only got like 10 minutes left. Like just those things, that people take for granted. But it was just, real love, and you guys did an unbelievable job of making us feel wanted, and everyone has been benefiting from it since. So
tell me this. I have a question for you. I would like to know this for myself, and I'm sure other people would love to hear it. What were some of the things that happened? Because basically, we took a core of young guys. We had obviously some upperclassmen that were good players. Mm-hmm. And then the following year when I left, you guys were kind of that core was really the team that kind of ascended and started. Can you look back and say to yourself, okay, the first question I have for you is, what were some of the things when you felt like, okay, I'm ready? These are things I know I can do. What were some of those things that you kind of went through that made you feel like, outside of that freshman year where you struggled, and then as the year went on, you got going. But when you started to really become one of the better college players in the country, and then give me what you felt like happened. Look back now and you say, okay, I felt like this was a turning point. And then for that team, when do you think it was a turning point where you guys kind of flipped the switch and then became one of the best teams in the country? Start with yourself first.
I want to say it was I want to say I remember this game vividly, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people remember it as well, because we lost the game. But as an individual, we played against Virginia Tech on the road, and we got punished my freshman year. But for some reason, I felt, and at the end of the day, the stat sheet, I was playing very, very well. Everything just made complete sense to me. Finally,
it started to click.
Everything, and it wasn't just like, okay, he having a good game, because I wasn't making all the shots or anything like that. But I think I made good baskets, but everything just made complete sense. Our leader Gary went down, or for something like that, he wasn't playing, and coach had to insert me. And as a team, we were down, but I felt like I just felt like really, really comfortable. Then we get blindsided by the phone card. So now, I'm not forced to play, but my minutes increase tremendously because we lose. Our starting whole lineup changes and everything. Yep. And I think that's when, now that I knew I was in the game, 30 minutes in the game, I knew coach was going to have all the confidence in me. I felt just more and more comfortable playing, and I felt that I was playing better than everyone else, and guys who were already playing and comfortable, but just during that period of time where it was just us, where we had to. That allowed my confidence to grow. So going into sophomore year, I felt like, okay, seniors are now gone. I felt like I had an opportunity, despite, our situation, playing significant minutes in a row, that I can be another, important piece coming back, and maybe one of the more focal guys coming back. And I thought that because Jason was getting hurt.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I always felt, Jason, a healthy Jason, would have been a number one. And just being, and I was fine with that. I mean, I know what Jason was able to do, and we complimented each other well anyway. So it was never that. But I saw him struggling with injury, and I saw, how we were playing and my presence being able to score below the foul line, helping the team out. So that confidence right there going to sophomore year, I think that I took that off and running. I said, sophomore year, I'm going to, make my mark. And it wasn't a selfish thing. It was more so just, I know what I can do because feeling more comfortable now. So now people can be more comfortable with me being out there. That's what I wanted to leave out there. And it just started just flowing, and playing with great players is easy.
No question. And then how about the team when you look back? And I'm sure you've talked about this before, but when you look back, what was the turning point with that group where you guys said, I know all you guys. So I know all you dudes were like, yo, we're winning a national championship. We're going to the Final Four.
Right.
Like it wasn't bravado as much as it was just the way that you were made, the way you're built. It's just who you are. Like you guys were not going to be intimidated by anybody. So I know that about you, but when do you feel like it turned that you knew it? Like, all right, we're one of the better teams in the country. I know it.
I would say midway sophomore year. But I want to say it started before that with just the addition of Mike Nardi and Will Sheridan. Those two dudes, I mean, if we want to talk about analytics, I wonder if they took them back then, or the contribution, or how our team just changed once those two guys came in. That was it. It was, and then by the time, we really got used to each other midway through the year, I felt sophomore year, the dynamic was changing. Now, it didn't result in a lot of wins because we lost a lot of close games. Like, we could have easily been a 24-win team, but we wound up maybe winning, 18 or 19 games because we lost games by 3 points. We saw how everyone just complimented each other. Mike was able to allow Randy to get off the ball a little bit and use his physicality. Randy was still a point guard, but Mike allowed Randy to beat Randy a little bit more, and also allow Allen as well to get the ball and bump with his screening and getting guys open to their spots, rebounding, blocking shots. It was that. I mean, those two guys really made it a complete team, or complete starting five that will allow us to be really, really competitive, and then continue to grow the program and lead. So I would say that. And I think once we got comfortable midway through the season, that's when I knew we were going to be a good team. It didn't even matter about the wins because every game felt like we was winning, or we was going to win. Yeah. And that is a start right there.
That's a great feeling. That's a great feeling. That means you had great leadership from your coach, and then you had great chemistry amongst you guys. That's when it's coming. You know it's coming. That's a great thing. That's a great thing.
In the junior year, it was like we were winning those games like it was nothing. And we would lose, we would find a way to win by 8 or something, or just whatever it was. And those things we would talk about, like, it's coming, just keep. And, we went through the growing pains sophomore year, but it still felt like wins, like we could have won that. Like, we let that one get away. It's not going to be too much longer. We're going to, let those get away. And then that's when it happened. And then we were just harder on anybody that came up underneath us because we wanted to protect that. We knew what the struggle was, trying to build something. And then everybody who came up underneath us, they made their mark and they wanted to protect that. And then it just followed suit. And now we got something going, man. The most successful program in the last 20 years. We all a part of it, Joe.
Unbelievable story, man. Unbelievable story.
All a part of it, man.
Unbelievable story.
So how's your season going so far, Coach?
Yeah,
Man?
so yeah, man. So we're doing great, man. This is the best non-conference record we've had since like 2003. We're currently 9-4. We won a lot of close games. A lot of what you're talking about is what I'm going through right now with my team, because this is a team. We had four of our starters played on the team that won the championship in 2010, 2020. And then the next day, COVID hit and they shut down the NCAA tournament. So, you know, we got four of those starters coming back in 2022, you know, hoping to get back there. You know, we lost a valuable piece, but we feel like we've got the pieces to do it again. But just like you're saying, like, we know how to win. You know, we know how to win. We're confident in each other. But the culture is there. You know, the culture's there. They care about each other. They play for each other. They know it's more, you know, they know it's more about us than it is about them. It's just a great atmosphere to walk in every day and be around people that you love and you respect. You know, I basically got a bunch of Curtis Sumpters. That's what I have. I honestly do. I got a bunch of guys that resemble you in so many ways. Your talent, you know, your nature, your character. So many guys that just as you know, just are so much like you, you know, and that's why we have a chance to be good.
And I believe so, Coach. It's such a breath there. It's such a breath of fresh air to be in an environment and a culture like that. And it's instantly recognizable when you're not in that culture.
No, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because
You
we
know,
all have been through it. As basketball players, we've all been in those kind of cultures.
You know, it's like,
you got some dudes that are looking out for themselves. You got some selfish guys with bad attitudes that don't want to work, that don't really get what it's all about. You know, you know, all our lives are about how we're impacting each other. You know, that's what it's all about, you know, and obviously, you know, certain guys are going to get their name on Twitter, but it's so much more about the impact we're making on each other. And when guys are able to kind of lose how this is impacting them and they start thinking about how it's impacting all of us, that's when you have something special, man. You know,
for sure. And I've learned that first through in my household and my family, culture, taking care of the next person, caring about the next person, loving the next person, especially if that person is involved in your growth and helping, you know, give respect when respect is given. Those things first. Great foundation. And I felt that I saw that with Bishop Lachlan. I was fortunate to see that in Villanova. And, you know, I haven't been fortunate to see that outside of Villanova in my professional career because I'm just going to be honest. But those core values, you know, I keep with me day to day. And some of the things I'm doing now is setting up COVID testing sites for those who aren't able to get out there and be tested. It's just hard out there for a lot of people. And it's just my way of giving back to the community, helping employers keep their staff, people stay employed, not miss multiple days of work and income because they can't get a test, helping kids get back to school faster, not miss, you know, days of school. So just those things, you know, that I just learned again first at home. And followed through at Bishop Lachlan and Villanova community and all these things. You know, it's just what we do. You know, it's just what we do.
I'm not surprised that you're out there helping others, man. I'm not surprised, but I'm awfully proud of you, man, and happy, you know, for you that things are going so well, man.
Thank you, Coach. And I just want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to spend time with me and talk and just catch up on some old times.
Yeah, we gotta stay in touch, man, for sure. Better.
We in touch, Coach.
Gotta do a better job.
It's not gonna go another, you know, it's not gonna go another year without us talking. I promise you that. Reconnecting with you is one of the best things, you know, of the year, I must say, and I want to continue that relationship. So you have no worries about that. We good.
You got it, man. You make sure you tell Leon and Priscilla I said hello. And I actually I got Alan's number, and I actually had a great conversation with him. So I got to.
He told me. I gave it to him. I said, "Coach, gonna be hitting you up." He told me.
I gotta keep it.
I was with him a couple weeks ago in Atlanta.
Oh,
So
you
we got
two
a chance to
guys, man.
chat.
I used to come to my office and I would just smile. You guys would bust my chops, man. We would have a good time. So I'll definitely I'm gonna keep doing a better job with him too, man. But thank you, thanks for having me, man, and for all the Villanova fans out there, I miss you guys and absolutely love it and love what's happening at Villanova under Coach Wright for all these years. All right, go Cats, baby, go Cats.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate you for making this an unbelievable show. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Give everybody my love, and I'll talk to you soon.
You got it, my man.